Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Fatbody. Joining us, we have d4gr0n and d4gr0n, and we are about to see Chakan the Forever Man.
Hello.
I'm going to let d4gr0n take it away.
Yes, so joining me on the commentary is d4gr0n, and who I believe is more than qualified to help commentate. He has a fellow runner of this game. We have many things that we can say from our past experiences with this, but the first thing I want to do is I want to shout out to, and I see him in the chat, Expletive Deleted. He was the very reason I picked up this game. He suggested it to me a long time ago, and I never heard of the game before. So then when he went hunting for version 1.00 Revenge of Shinobi, he decided to give me a copy of the game as well, out of just total generosity. And so that was my introduction to playing this extremely interesting and yet pretty misunderstood game. It's a very hard game, and most who have tried have perished. I don't think there's not many who have even been able to beat this game on easy mode. But that being said, that is also why I wanted d4gr0n to be a fellow co-commentator here, because he is the other person who beat this game on hard mode. d4gr0n, what do you think about hard mode?
Hard mode is bananas. It's absolutely bananas. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah, when I first did it, it was just as a favor to all the people who've been like brutalized and punished by this game. And yeah, my time was like a silly over 8 hours probably, and then I brought it down to 1 hour. And d4gr0n came and just totally mopped this game like across several floors and states and whatever you want to say.
Yeah, basically.
It's just, yeah, he's definitely taking this game to a new level, and you all are in for a treat.
Yeah, before I picked up this game, I believe even the easy mode record was like, in this category, like 33 minutes. It has gone down to like, I think it's gone down as low as 23 minutes on easy mode for all levels, and then hard mode has been pushed down to below 25 minutes, so... But that's a relatively clean run, so... I expect some disaster to strike in this run, but... You know, it is what it is. Chakan the Forever Man is a very difficult game, and I'm very much looking forward to both the good and the bad of showing off what this game can do to the runner. So... I won't talk any more about it. Yes, there was a donation incentive for hard mode. It wasn't met, but since there was enough donations towards it, I think it was up to like $80-something. I am going to do it. If you do want to know what hard mode is, you take double the damage from all sources. That is excluding anything that is a one-hit death hazard. So, yeah, that is the kind of game that you are about to witness here. Alright. Okay, so, with that being said, I won't delay the host anymore. We'll get this time going. 3, 2, 1, go.
Woohoo! Good luck, man.
Thank you. So, Chakan the Forever Man. I guess, you know what, d4gr0n? I'll let you do you know the lore of this game?
Yes. So Chakan pretty much is like one of the most badass warriors out there, and looking for a challenge. Basically, he comes across death, and if I screw up the lore at all, d4gr0n, feel free to correct me. But he comes across death, and in a challenge he manages to beat death, but it comes at a cost, a huge cost. If you want to continue there, d4gr0n.
Okay, so he gains immortality for beating death, but the cost of this immortality is he has continuous nightmares of every single person that perishes due to evils within the world that Chakan resides in. Anybody that it perishes, you know, from various many different horrors that one can experience from said evils, whether it's being eaten alive or something like that, he experiences those nightmares. So he is just forever tormented. So now he is on a mission to destroy all the evil in the world. And that is the lore of Chakan the Forever. And that's what he's doing. That's what I'm on a mission to do. And what you just witnessed there was me trying to do an exploit called the infinite double jump. And to do this, you have to time your attack and jump buttons rhythmically. And it will cause you to climb infinitely. Oh, I can't do it now. This guy's in the way. I gotta bring him down here. This guy, it's kind of random if this guy spawns or not, so we're just gonna get rid of him. Gonna just get the... There we go. Alright, let's try again.
Yeah, this is an extremely difficult technique here, that d4gr0n.
Okay,
nice. Good. Very nice to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, that's one of the big run killer stages. You mess up any part of that infinite double jump, you will die. It's guaranteed. You have no safe landing back if you mess it up. Okay, so I probably should mention about the portals. I'm in one of them, and they're called the Terrestrial Planes. Each plane, each portal contains 3 levels, and every 3rd level is a boss. And here's the first one right here. I'm actually popped a couple potions to pop the invincibility. Yes, there are spells you can use in this game, and some are more useful than others. That one you saw me use is a very useful one, where I gain complete invincibility for a set period of time and allows me to prevent taking damage to the bosses. And this is pretty important because bosses do double damage as well. It's not just enemies. Bosses do double the damage, and considering they do, like, a full skull worth of damage on easy, that means they do 2 skulls worth of damage on hard. So you are 3-shotable to a boss, even at full life. So it's very, very important you are careful with your health.
Yep, and d4gr0n's run here is optimized to pick up as many potions as he can. That'll help him to utilize the invincibility magic that he spoke of.
Alright, so coming up now is a pretty key climb here. This one won't actually kill me, but if I do mess it up, I will lose 12 seconds for it. Alright, we did mess it up.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Not done yet, though.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, these infinite double jumps are extremely hard to pull off. It takes a very good rhythm between the jump and the attack buttons. And yeah, d4gr0n has that nice and smooth.
I should also probably mention, like, the other major reason it's a very tough trick to do is because if you actually press attack while you're still holding the jump button, you'll actually do a spin attack. So it's very important that you have the rhythm down really nicely in order to continue said double jump, or infinite double jump. Now, here's another boss here where it's best to just stay right where we are. This is really the only way to deal with this guy. He will come to you regardless of where you are. And unfortunately, he's kind of trolling me there by doing stupid stuff like that, wasting my time a little bit. Eventually, he's going to come down and try to charge me from below. My iframes are going to last long enough, though, and there we go.
Sweet.
Once again, another boss that does 2 skulls worth of damage on hard, so it's very important to utilize the invincibility there. You also saw me enchant my weapons, and this is also important to do more damage to the bosses because of certain elemental weaknesses. Now we're on to Terrestrial Earth, and this first level is probably one of the hardest levels in hard mode because when doing the normal route, you just have to damage boost through a lot of enemies And then you have to get through that guy, and he does 2 skulls worth too. So it's a very dangerous level, but because we already had the scythe, we were able to take a nice shortcut here. Oops, nice. You can actually get past that. That thing will actually kill you in a single hit, by the way. Okay. So this level is kind of really scary. There's a certain mini-boss waiting for me at the end here, and he does 2 skulls worth of damage too. And as you can see, I don't have much health, which is real scary. We're gonna try to do a nice little task strat though. Actually... Oh god, okay. We're gonna have to abandon that. We're gonna have to abandon this. This is kind of scary now.
Yeah, this level's rough
okay.
because of those vents that shoot out the blue gas or whatever it may be. So yeah, we try to minimize as much damage, you know, the damage that we can take through the level before we get to that boss there.
It's pretty hard though. And of course, the fastest route is to take this damage. Since we did fail the task strat, which is to use the overhead slice and just chain him constantly, we're gonna do the old safer strat. I don't want to do this level again. Yeah, we're definitely gonna resort to that. And before I still die. Okay, it looks like we got him. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is a lot slower because we have to wait for him to grunt a little bit before he lunges forward. But this is much safer. All right. So that's pretty much the hardest level of Terrestrial Earth. This last level is actually quite a bit easier. You might think it's probably a fair bit harder because the actual boss is in here, but there's a little something quite abusable with this boss. Once we get to her, it's the Spider Queen. Oh, come on, thank you.
Yeah, the first time I saw d4gr0n fight the Spider Queen, I was just totally blown away because I was jumping and dodging all over the place where he just rolls right underneath her, and so long as you're underneath her, she can't damage you.
Yeah, you also can't let her get away, otherwise she will do a projectile attack. And it does try to, I guess, sort of home in on you. That's not quite accurate, but it does try to track your position a little bit. But it only does about 1 skull damage on hard, so it's not, it's standard damage. Standard damage. Alright, so Terrestrial Water. This is a very technical portal. And this first level is also pretty scary. There's a lot of hard to avoid hazards in this level. You can see these things in the water trying to flag me down. And then there's these flyers here also trying to tag me as well. I'm trying to stay in the water to keep away from the flyers. They're the bigger threat, I think, anyway. Just trying to capitalize on rolling where I can. And again, you see I'm picking up potions where I can. This is to ensure... I minimize the damage taken. Real nice use of... Oh my goodness. There was a lot of those guys.
They were trying to get you there.
Yeah, they were trying pretty hard. Okay. So, this is a good amount of health. So we had a really good stage here. This octopus here we have to kill. No way around it. And yeah, now that we got rid of him... Oh, come on. I need the sword.
Yeah, he was like the mini boss of this level. Once you kill him, then it opens up this little gateway here.
I saw also mention the water really holds you back pretty hard. Alright, so... This second level here is very hard. I have a good chance of dying here as well. I'm gonna grab that red potion. That's always supposed to be there. There's also a clear potion there, but it's inconsistent whether it's properly spawns or not. So I kind of routed it so that I didn't need that clear potion. Here's another one over here, by the way. I think another thing, well, we should probably mention about the magic is that each magic uses types of potions in order to activate it. So we're grabbing certain potions and ignoring others simply because we're trying to utilize certain types of spells in certain situations.
Yeah, such as the invincibility spells or the elemental spells for the bosses.
Alright, so Terrestrial Water 3, this is an awful level. Like, you try and play this level casually, you'll probably give up. And just as you watch the hourglass in the bottom right of the screen tick down and just be completely helpless to know what you're supposed to do here. You're supposed to go to this door, jump right here, grab these potions. We're also going to imbue our swords with earth, because that's the weakness of this boss. And... okay, there we go. We got the spot. This boss has a pretty wide hitbox, so I had to be pretty careful how to approach her. And there we go. That is the Terrestrial Water boss. I forget what its name is. Alright, so, now we move on. Now that we've dealt with the 4 terrestrial planes, we now have to deal with the elemental planes, and nice start. Okay, so, yes, the elemental planes are 4 harder planes that we have to now clear. There are 3 levels in each of these as well. And, oh man, we're gonna start with the most brutal of the bunch. Elemental fire. All this lava is instant death, aside from those that are falling straight down, and I guess because they're part of the background. This is pretty.
I was gonna ask you, d4gr0n, with your routing, would you say if this was still the most difficult plane out of all of them?
It's definitely the scariest. Yes. Oh boy. Okay,
yeah,
good.
these platforms are absolutely evil. If the ones that are moving, if they overlap the stationary ones, there is a high possibility that you'll fall right through and land in the lava. But d4gr0n got through that level nicely.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's a big risk of that happening, and this is especially a huge sticking point in the level coming up after this one. And that's because if you double jump high enough, you will reset the platform cycle. And this means in certain situations on that next level, there's it will usually spawn right where a stationary platform is. So you'll find oftentimes double jumping towards another stationary platform would grant you safety, but no. Don't do that. You're gonna see me not take that path, and hopefully I do not die as I do this. Okay. Yeah, good. So that's probably the most likely place for me to screw up. You see, I'm doing my stationary jumps. Okay, good. Not gonna push my luck any further than this. You're also having to deal with all these ads spawning, which is just awful. And on hard mode, that means your health is very easily going to get whittled down if you take too many hits. And this is especially important in this level because, well, in this level, there is the boss waiting at the end. So on top of all those hazards, we still have to deal with the boss. So, fun stuff.
Yep, and we're making our way to him. d4gr0n, I believe, is going to switch to, the hammer here.
Yeah, for some reason, imbuing your swords causes this guy's AI to kind of just not want anything to do with you. He's just like, yeah, I'm not going to play that game. We're gonna... I'm just going to stay right up in the sky where you can't touch me. So, the only real way to handle this guy is to just use the special weapons that we got in the first level of the terrestrial planes.
Oh wow, I'm used to that guy running off, but you actually disintegrated him this time.
I missed a hit. That's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so we're gonna go to Terrestrial Water next, and that's because we don't really have a need to use any potions here except for 2 reds. And we're full on reds, so may as well use up the reds now. Come on, dude. Alright, so this level has a chance of killing me. Let's see what happens. Alright, nice, we got it. If I miss that double jump, I actually would plummet to my death at the hands of the spikes. So yeah, this is, I mean, like we said, death hits everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Alright. So here we're gonna use the overhead slice with the hammer to break those floors. And here's a whole bunch of death pits as well. Okay, good, we made it. Alright, so, what I just did there, so you probably noticed all the enemies suddenly spawned in the water when they were on these floating platforms. And this is done by simply double jumping as high as you can and forcing the spawn into the water. Yeah, don't ask me how that happened, how that was missed by the developers, but that's exactly what happened. It's literally something any one of you could do. So, next time you decide you want to try and take a crack at this game, if you feel like a masochist enough, try and give that whole exploit thing a try, and it will probably make this level a lot easier on you.
Hey,
yeah,
do you want to briefly talk about the hourglass, like the importance of the hourglass there?
I'll have a chance to talk about it on the boss fight in this level, but for now I got a very technical part here, so I'm just going to be quiet here for just a moment. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay. That was a little scary, but it works. Okay, so first, before we talk about the hourglass, gonna just pop this. And here's the boss. This is a fight that we cannot speed up, and I'm gonna stay in this corner to drop the lag down a little bit. And that's literally all there is to the fight. You can't make it go any faster. It's a very long fight, and you gotta do this 3 times. You gotta sit through his attacks and wait for him to become vulnerable. Which he's gonna become vulnerable for the first time. And that's the first time at 3 times we do this. So let's go and have a shower and talk about this hourglass. So the hourglass is kind of a time limit set on Chakan. And if you run out of sand on the hourglass, you will actually be instantly killed and sent to the beginning of the portal, which in our case is the beginning of this particular elemental plane, which is Elemental Water 1. And now, that sounds scary, but there is a spell to reverse the hourglass. And this is pretty important.
Yeah, so for like a lot of casual, for people playing this casually, that's a point where they would get tripped up a lot, not knowing that they can use the spell to reverse the hourglass time.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the integral thing about Chakan the Forever Man. You really have to understand how the potion system works and what each of the spells do. It's actually a very good spell system, and I know this game tends to get a pretty hard rep, but I do have to say the magic system was pretty cleverly thought out. And, I mean, yeah, part of it's because some of the spells are pretty broken. But, oh, okay,
Yeah,
well, we missed that.
From the jump spell to, yeah, the different elemental potions, and again, the invincibility potions, yeah, I agree. Very well thought out.
Okay. So, yeah, Elemental Earth is quite a bit less scary than the previous 2. Not quite as many scary places to get instantly killed at. So, it's not quite as brutal. There is a few death pits here, though, that we do have to be careful of. And that thing you just saw there trying to get at me, he actually isn't something that damages me, but he does grab a hold of me and sends me back. So it's a big time loss if I do get grabbed. The invincibility spell which I popped there not only serves as invincibility, but nothing can even grab me. So that's your way of countering that particular monster. And we're going to see him again, possibly here. Or maybe not. Alright. So, I need to think this through here. I guess fireworks, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, nice. I guess that works, though. So I failed to get that initial hit on him. I had to make sure I used the right potions. I probably could have afforded to use 2 greens there, but it's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, so this boss, as long as you hold your position right there, you'll be able to get hits on him without him being able to extend his claw out and hit you. So it's a nice little abusable aspect. Yeah, and that's why Elemental Earth is not really too bad at all. Alright, and speaking of the other one that also isn't quite as bad, we have this one right here. This is Elemental Air, and we got a nice little ride here that we're going to utilize. And these lasers here that I'm kind of trying to veer around, they do 4 skulls worth of damage. They are the highest damage dealing thing in the entire game. That is not an exaggeration. They hit very hard, so it's very, very important that I avoid them. Here, though, unlike before in the previous level, we're actually going to abuse the invincibility here and just go right through every hazard there is in the level. And hopefully not botch any more infinite double jumps. Okay, good. Good. So we're past all the hard part now, or hard parts of this level now. And we're going to use the spin attack to ward these guys off, because they're persistent. And there you go. That's the second level of Elemental Air. A lot of technicality to that level as well, because of the infinite double jump. And now we move on to the last Elemental Plane, or the Elemental Air level. And we're going to grab this potion here and swap to this. Oh, come on. Once again, we're going to need the ride of this thing here to carry us to victory. A pretty tight window to get through there. You can see how sketchy it looks like to try and get past some of these laser beams, but you can get past it if you just move just carefully enough. All right, so here's a bunch of guys here. All right, cool. Come on. There we go.
Mind them out nicely.
And gonna use this bug. The good thing is we killed the other one too. So now we have just this guy and just him alone. And we're going to use this, and we're gonna use this. And, oh, what are you doing here? And we're gonna kind of use the invincibility to our advantage. Whoops. Come on. Stop dropping inputs. I need to kill him before the invincibility wears off. This guy does 2 skulls worth of damage as well. Okay, he's 1 more hit from death. There we go. And yeah, so that's all the elemental planes done, which means we have now finished our goal. And since we are kind of a bit ahead of schedule, let's let ourselves enjoy some of the nice lore that we have here. So we've destroyed all the evil, and now Chakan can finally, as per the stated promise by Death. Oh, this is the thing we didn't actually clarify. Death promises Chakan he would be freed from this torment if he kills all the evil. So now that he has done that, That's why he has taken the sword to himself. He believes that now that he has accomplished his goal, he can finally rest eternally. Oh, by the way, if you press up on this whole thing, you can speed up the whole thing. It's funny how I found out about that. Cypherin actually had to tell me about that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was a nice time save for the PB you earned at that time.
Alright, so another major important thing is that this game was based off of a set of graphic comics by, God, what was the guy's name? Was it Robert Cross? I wish I could remember the guy's name, but he was the one who originally created the universe around Chakan. Unfortunately, he hasn't really gotten any further with the lore than what you will see in this ending, which we are seeing right now. So right on that boat there is Death. Yes, we did defeat him, but we didn't kill him. As it turns out, even though Chakan had accomplished his goal of ridding all of Earth of evil, all the stated evils, it turns out that Death is sort of a troll in this game. What he really meant was Chakan had to destroy all the evils, not just the ones in his world, but every single world that exists in the universe. So basically, Chakan is tormented forever. It is an unfortunate. It's unfortunate to be Chakan. He's unfortunately. He's tortured forever. Because, I mean, he's, as Death said, stuck on this speck of molten dust or whatever. Pretty iconic words. Anyways, now we have this boss here. This is the final boss of the game. It is important that I hold on to 2 reds and 2 blues, or a green and a clear, in order to have a very easy time finishing off the boss, and that is time right there on the Fade to Black. And that is Chakan the Forever Man. That is the end of the game. So, yeah. So if you're wondering what you're looking at right now, well, I mean, it's an hourglass. But this is literally the end. If you want to know an interesting little thing about this ending, or, sorry, this ending, you can stay on the screen for 15 minutes, and eventually the screen will pop up a message saying, and I quote this, "Not the end." Period. That is the ending that you wait for if you wait on the screen long enough, and then it will go back to the Sega logo. That is all there is to this game. And yeah,
All right.
I have one more thing I want to say though.
Michelle.
Despite how disappointing the end probably is to a lot of you, I really find that even though this game is super brutal to play casually, learning the speedrun has been quite an interesting venture. I think it's a really, really interesting speedrun, so I actually really recommend it. Of course, one does have to learn how to do the infinite double jump, and I have made a tutorial video on this. And I'll get that posted, and I'll have it on the guides tab on speedrun.com in the coming days. I'll try and remember to upload it within the next couple of days. And yeah, that's it. That's everything I have to say for Chakan the Forever Man. Thanks for watching.
All right, and so thank you to our runner Dagrin. Thank you to Cypherin for doing commentary. That was an amazing run. In our downtime, we did have a donation. We had a $5 donation from DK Wings. It reads, "Nice run of Chakan and commentate. Good job, runner."
Thank you.
Reminder, guys, to get those donations in. We do have one donation. Oh no, our last donation incentive has already been met. The Softlock Showcase, which will be showcased by Faust 4712. Coming up next, we have Dagrin again with Rocket Knight Adventures. Be sure to stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a moment.